Welcome to another episode of theNSider. On this episode, we're visiting KidzExpress, an organization located in the South Austin neighborhood of Chicago that provides resources and services to our African American youth who come from low-income, poverty-stricken families. Joining me will be the director of KidzExpress, Mr. Doug Lowe, along with three of his mentors, as they talk about their own experiences at KidzExpress and how they're shaping the community while positively impacting the youth. Stay tuned. This is theNSider.
My name is Doug Lowe, and I am the executive director of this program called KidzExpress. It's a unique program for kids. There's an individual who used to be the CEO of the Chicago Community Trust told me that we have the most innovative youth development program that he has seen in 25 years. So we take a lot of pride in that. And we've been doing this for over 20 years in this neighborhood. And it's been very successful on a smaller scale, and what we're doing now is we're trying to scale it up to go from 50 kids a day from last year to up to 150 to 200 kids a day over the next 3 years. We offer a lot of the basic programs that most after-school offers. We have, for instance, academics is the number one thing we do here. They are required to come in here the first hour and do their homework and do academics for the first hour. It's non-negotiable. We truly believe that academics is really the only avenue that most of these kids have to success, simply because whether they believe it or not, they're not all going to become basketball stars, they're not all going to become football stars. But what really sets us apart is we have a bunch of different types of programs. So for instance, we have this computer program where we partner with Reyes Holdings, which is a $26 billion multinational organization, and every Saturday their IT team actually comes in here and works with kids from our program to help them develop real skills like network architecture and coding so that it can prepare them for potential careers in it. We have programs like our cross-age peer mentoring program, and what that is that most after-school programs hire adults to be the mentors in the program. What we do that's really different is we hire 30 to 40 kids from the neighborhood between the ages of 14 and 25 to actually run the program. So this neighborhood has about a 90-91% unemployment rate for our youth. And so we actually employ kids from this neighborhood to run the program. And as I was saying earlier, what better mentor can a kid have than someone who grew up in the neighborhood, who dealt with a lot of the same issues that they're dealing with, overcame them, and are being successful. We also have a dinner program. All of our kids live in poverty, according to the federal statistics. So not all of our kids, but a significant of them are food insecure. So we provide dinner for the kids 5 days a week. And we have partnerships with other organizations like Pepperidge Farms, who donates bread to us. So we send bread home to the kids. We have music programs where professional musicians come in and actually have lessons for our kids and teach them how to play the guitar, play the piano. We have a dance club. We have so many different programs like that that are really meeting the special needs of whatever the kids want. And so every program that we've ever developed here was simply based upon understanding the kids' needs. You know, the food program came about because we had kids who had no food in the home. The computer program came about because we had kids who were computer nerds that had no outlet for it. The mentor program came about because I have no idea where I came up with that. But it's really, I tell people how unique we are, and everybody likes to think that their program is more unique than the next person's. But we really are. We really approach this from a different perspective, and that explains why I have mentors that have been here 10, 12, 13, 14, 15 years. I'm in a unique position where, for whatever reason, I have an ability to bond with these kids, and I have ability to bond with this community. I'm an institution in this community. I literally can walk out the door and talk to the drug dealers and the gangbangers because I watched them grow up. And today when that shooting occurred, 2 of them called me and told me, "Doug, you need to keep the kids in the building. Some stuff just went down." And so the more you establish a relationship with the community and with the kids, it changes the way that people view you. in inner city African American communities like this, they're closed communities. And somehow, some way, this Asian dude, they actually call me that Asian dude, Doug, that Asian dude, has really found a way to become part of their lives. I mean, these mothers trust me with their kids on a daily basis. And, you know, if I take them on field trips, they tell me, Doug, as long as they with you, we feel good. So, for whatever reason, I've just had this interesting ability to connect with kids, to connect with this neighborhood, but also to have an idea of what kind of strategies and what kind of programs would have the biggest impact on the kids. So, you know, it's not a calling, and it's not. Everybody keeps telling me that I'm doing God's work, and I'm like, I'm not churched up enough to do God's work. The reality is neighborhoods like this have really gone down over the last 10, 15, 20 years. You know, just in the 20 years that I've been doing this, I can tell you there's an unbelievable difference in the way the neighborhood has. So a lot of it is economic issues. So people always ask me from that perspective, economic issues drive so much of the negative issues here. Jobs would solve a lot of problems. So when you think about the kids who join gangs, it's because they can't get jobs. And I know for a fact, because I had a kid who, his mother got really sick and she lost her job, and I helped him apply for all these jobs at McDonald's and all these other places just so he can get some money to pay the rent and help buy food for his 2 little brothers and sisters. He got rejected at every turn. He told me that he was going to start selling drugs just because he needed to have some money to pay for the bills, for his mother's medical bills and for everything that was going on. And so the only thing I could tell him was, don't get caught. I mean, what am I supposed to tell him? Don't do this because, you know, what are you supposed to do for money? I mean, he was honestly a kid who was trying to do the right thing and find jobs, but there just weren't any jobs for him. So the greatest need for this program is for kids to have a connection where they can develop. And so one of the things that's really important, you met a couple of older African American men who are wandering around the hallways. And so they're 8 to 10 really successful African American men who went to Bradley University. And so they're now creating a network for my kids. Up to this point in time, I was the network. You know, I was the only one that had connections that could help them find different paths. For instance, as I told you, for my political connections, I helped one of my kids get the Congressional Black Caucus internship in D.C. 2 summers ago. It was a pretty amazing day. We had 3 kids go to Morehouse College, and they all graduated. And I told you a young man just went to Northwestern. And so I was the connection for all of these to find jobs, to help them figure out what their careers were going to be. Now all of a sudden I have a group of 8 to 10 African American men that are coming in, and they're absolutely replicating what I was doing. So as we grow, it's giving us a better opportunity to provide kids in this neighborhood some of the, quite honestly, the basic things that they get growing up in white neighborhoods. You know, in areas like Oak Park and River Forest, every kid's dad or friend's dad knows somebody that can pull strings for them. Well, in this neighborhood, nobody has those strings. So KidzExpress really provides that support. African Americans in this community and in our society as a whole have been pushed out of the opportunities of moving into the middle class and out of the opportunities of actually getting good paying jobs simply because they're African American. And so our kids are struggling and dealing with that as it has filtered down over time. And this is the result. What you see in this neighborhood, in this community, is the absolute result of the policies of the last 50, 60 years. To be honest with you, this is some of the community development, economic development stuff that I've been working on. I mean, the fact that I've been in this neighborhood for 20 years was a huge reason that I got the appointment from President Obama, because I bring a much different perspective.
Yeah, what we need.
Well, it's interesting because you talk to, let's go back to what you were asking. When you go to Washington and you talk to all these people about the policies, they keep talking about, you know, lifting them up in the elevator, you know, taking them higher up. And I actually raised my hand in a meeting at the White House and I go, that's all great and well, but what about getting them on the elevator in the first place? What difference does it make if there's programs of you know, teaching them how to use a bank account or, you know, financial readiness, or if they don't have a job? One thing that really frustrates me is I keep hearing all these programs talk about 100% of our kids go to college, 100% of the kids do this, 100% of our kids do that. I don't have any illusions of that. What we do is, as I said, we work individually with every single kid and figure out what their path is. There is no path that is the right path or the wrong path. A perfect example is I had a kid in my program since he was 11 years old, and he kept telling me college was not for him, college was not for him. And so we got him into coin. He went there to learn to be an electrician. And of course, the irony of it is he came back and told me I might as well have gone to college. I couldn't believe how much math I had to learn. I'm like, Dennis, if you don't learn this math, you're going to get electrocuted. But he found out that he can do it really well because it's something that he's really interested in. So he's going to graduate in the fall, and he's going to come out as an apprentice making $18 an hour with the opportunity to get up to, as his career progresses. So I've helped kids get jobs as janitors. I've helped kids get jobs as hairstylists, nail salons, because there is no such thing as one path. And, I would love for all of my kids to graduate from high school, but I realistically know that's not going to happen. So we just do the best that we can in that regard. So when people ask me what our goal for this whole program is, the real goal is to have kids make better decisions. That's really what it is. So we have a website, www.KidzExpress.org. They can go there and learn about the program, and they can call me at 312-730-2670 if they have any questions. I definitely am the person that has been kind of running this program for the last 10, 15 years. But you're about to meet 3 people who have been critical about running this program now. So.
I am Darnell Pearson. I'm 25 years old, and I'm the senior manager here at KidzExpress.
I'm Marco Dodd. I'm 25 years old, and I'm the assistant director here at KidzExpress.
How you guys doing? I'm Lawrence Mead. I'm 22 years old, and I'm one of the senior managers here at KidzExpress.
Nice, thank you. So let's start with you, Marco, since you've been here longer. Mm-hmm. How was your experience coming up in KidzExpress until now?
Well, I started off as a kid in the actual program. So I've been involved with KidzExpress for about 15 years, almost 16 years. So me seeing exactly where it started from, it started as just a one-day program that was only on Wednesday. So to expand into a 5-6 day program over 10, 15 years is kind of incredible. And it's just one of the programs that stuck around in the Austin community. Not a lot of programs are here past 18 months, so it was something that me and my friends saw that was a consistent place where we can go and learn and try to better ourselves. So that's what stuck with me.
Awesome. How about you, Darren?
Well, my story is a little different. So he was going first, and he used to disappear after school, in high school. He used to just disappear. I always wondered where he was going. Like, he just gonna disappear out of thin air. So I kind of followed him one day, and he came to this building. And I seen this big Asian guy. I was like, oh, this is different. What's going on here? So right, like what all these kids doing in here? Who is this Asian guy? Like, what's going on here? So that's when we had the building right there on Laramie. So just walked in. Ever since it was like a big family. So I used to go on and off, but around sophomore year in college, that's when I got more involved. So it's been a pleasure here. It's been a big family.
My involvement with KidzExpress started 2 years ago. My best friend Imani had brought me out to speak to the kids as like a guest artist, because at the time he was bringing a couple artists through the building, like visual, like rappers and stuff like that. And ever since then, I really connected with the entire environment of KidzExpress. So more and more I started coming, and then eventually I just asked Doug, it's like, do y'all have room for me here? He was like, yeah. So ever since then I've been here, just politicking with the kids, having a good time. It's definitely one big family though.
So how are the kids here?
They're a nightmare.
Like any other program. They are, between 5 and 14-year-old kids, so it's a headache. But
then with we have like as you would say, we have like 3 different groups or 4 different groups. So for the kids that actually participate in the program, just kids in the program, that's from 5 to 14. But then we have our junior mentors or our teams. So we have a team program, and these junior mentors, they also have an opportunity to become a mentor. So they start out as volunteers, and then they get stipends, and and eventually they can have the opportunity to move up to become a mentor.
It's like
through high school.
It's like a big molding process.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, like we see who has potential, like early on. So at that point, we just build them up to become junior mentors, and then mentors after that. So yeah.
So how has KidzExpress had a positive effect on everyone in you's lives?
I guess I'll start. So I have a daughter that I'm currently raising. Like being around other kids and having to like actually be like a mentor or somebody they go to and things of that nature is kind of like giving me my like precursor before I have to actually have these same talks and stuff with my own child. So that for one has helped, and then just overall, learning how to deal with people, because overall, like when you say dealing with people don't normally think about kids too. Like they, what I'm saying? That's weird, but people don't think like that. So it teaches you how to deal with people, teenagers, like infants, well not necessarily infants, but adolescents, and just giving you that experience. So.
Well, I think KidzExpress has helped in numerous ways. As far as being from Austin, there's not a lot of opportunities for kids to get mentorship, or for kids to have the after-school programs that's not costly. Because in Austin, you got families that have 3, 4 siblings or 5 kids, so it's not cost efficient for the parents to send these kids to these programs. So being a part of KidzExpress has helped. It's helped me as far as having mentors able to help and guide me make tough decisions, or just having people around in general who care about the choices that I'm making and help me get to where I want to go in life. And when you have people around you who want to help you and build you up, that also allows you to open that same door to some of your friends, or your nieces or your nephews or your brothers or your sisters. So it gave me opportunity to learn from a lot of people that I normally wouldn't have that chance from, and that be from all different races, ethnicities, and you just get a lot of opportunities and a lot of doors open for you that wouldn't normally be open. And what better ways to share that knowledge with your friends, or your associates or people you know. And I think that's what this program is. It's a lot of information being shared, a lot of knowledge, and it's a chance for us to get better, go away, learn, bring that information back, share it. Hopefully we inspire others.
I think personally for me, it helped me like define who I am. Like I walk into this building every day as a mentor or a manager or whatever, but I never looked at myself as a mentor. I still don't look at myself as a mentor. Like we have kids here come to me every day with problems, and I figure out solutions to solve them. Like I'm like, all right, but I do that at home as a brother or as an uncle, as a I do that on a daily basis. So when I come in here, I still see myself as a brother, as an uncle, as a father figure almost. Like so, like we have a girl here named Talia. She comes, like when she first joined the program, she was probably one of the worst kids that ever walked through this building. Just starting fights. She'd try you. I'm like, all right, be calm. You gotta learn how to hone yourself. Okay, this girl, she has problems obviously, so let's figure out what they are. So, but these days she's a straight A student. She's in high school now. She's a sophomore, I believe. And every time she has a writing assignment or something, she, come on, let's go to computer lab. We got to do this assignment. Let's get it done. I'm like, where did that come from? But like she saw that I was interested in her and her learning. So I mean, she just took that and she ran with it. Like you just give. If we come in this every day, we come in this building every day, and I don't know about them, but I feel like, you know, we come in with hope. Like they see us as like, all right, we can do the same thing he doing. We come from the same background, come from the same place, you know.
Right.
We live across the street from them or down the street from them, but we're all like positive young black men, and that's good for some of the women to see, some of the girls to see in this program too, because they're missing fathers at home. So I'm like, it just helped me like define who I am in the eyes of other people.
So what do you see, like, just from working here, that most of these kids need the most?
Consistency.
Attention.
I say both of them.
I think that's what it boils down to.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's just like when you're trying to learn how to do anything new, as far as playing basketball or becoming better at math or spelling. The more you do it, the more repetitions you get, the better you become. And I think that's the same as far as with being at KidzExpress. The more you attend, the more programs you're a part of, the more you get to know your peers, and the more you get to learn more about your mentors and the people who help you do these things every day. So if they see that we have a system, or you know, we have things outlined that we're following, and they see that we're consistent with it, you know, we're not changing we're not changing to the point that one day they come in and we're doing activities, and then the next day or the next 2 or 3 days we're just not doing anything. Like if they see that we're consistent and we're trying to develop different programs or different opportunities for them, then it makes things easier as far as them wanting to be a part of it, wanting to learn. And I think that's the big thing that a lot of kids are missing, that consistency, that attention, that effort. So when you see the older people who you're around, see them putting in the effort. You see them every day. You know, they're probably sick, fighting the cold, but they're here because they want to teach. So that makes kids want to come and want to learn. And I think that's what makes everything run, you know, great.
Right, and simply put, some of the kids are lacking attention at home. Now you got parents working, single parents, usually mothers, trying to work to take care of 2 to 3 kids in the house. So
Right.
they get up in the morning, go to school, come here at 7 o'clock. By the time they get home, it's 9 o'clock. They see their mother for 3-4 hours before they get up, do the same thing over again. So every day they come here for 4 to 5 hours, and they see us. So like we are, you know, giving them the attention that they should get from their parents that they can't get.
And we're connected to those parents.
Yeah.
You know, so we have those conversations with the parents. We talk. We set up things where, you know, certain parents are working late, so we don't mind staying extra 30, 45 minutes to make sure that, you know, that someone's at home when that child gets home.
Right.
Making sure that someone's picking up this child. That's the lengths that we go through with the parents. We want to make sure that, you know, kids are the top priority.
Like right now, we're officially closed, but you hear basketballs and stuff because
Right.
kids, they won't leave probably till 8 o'clock, 8:30 because, you know, parents
They don't
gotta
want to
come
go home.
pick them up.
You
Or
know? That's the thing. Like,
they love being here just for that entire atmosphere. And on top of that, like, it's so much bad attention that's out there. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's so many things that's kind of gravitating them to, like, things that they shouldn't be doing. And all of us being from this neighborhood, you know, we see things on a day-to-day, like little young kids out here, like, right under their uncles, older brothers, like, looking at them sell drugs, things of that nature. That's an atmosphere that they don't have to even be around to come directly from school to KidzExpress home. It's like that fine tunnel way. So this is definitely one of the places that give you like the proper upbringing and just that attention and consistency that you definitely need. So like I said, I agree with both of them.
right, like they come in this building and there's no talk of gangs, there's no talk of, I mean, you have little petty arguments every now and then, but that's gonna happen with anybody, so especially kids. So there's no negative energy unless somebody brings something in and then we just nip that in the bud right there.
Yes. And so what do you guys think about the executive director?
He's a
piece of work.
Okay, well,
But that's my dog, you feel me? That's my homie, you know what I'm saying? Hey, no, Doug is definitely one of them guys who is like one of those people who just want to do anything they can anything they can to like help. And that I recognized that like from the first time I met him, which was like 2 years ago. Like he just wanted to do anything he can to help. He real, he real blunt. You know what I'm saying? But
Straightforward.
Very straightforward. But that's something that I feel like we definitely need, especially in these times. So that's one thing I could definitely say about Doug. He just willing to be that guy if he has to. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a lot of time where he was like even coming out of pocket, his own pocket, to make sure this program stays like afloat. You know what I'm saying? So like people like that are definitely like heroes. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely rock with Doug for that. So.
I mean, I feel like I've been knowing him forever, but like he's just like you say, he's blunt, he's consistent, he's something that this neighborhood needed, because like we don't get, you know, like you said before, we don't get the after school programs that we should. We don't get the funding for, you know, things around the neighborhood that we should. Right, resources. We don't have that, but yet this 60-some-year-old Asian guy comes in. no, it's but look, no, but the thing is, it's
Oh, I do.
50-something, I don't care, 100 years old. I don't. The point is that he's Asian, and he's coming into our community, helping us,
Right.
and that's something that we don't get a lot, or if we do, we get some like, you know, a pity pat from like somebody of a different race want to come in, you know. But he's doing it just because I honestly don't know, right?
Yeah,
I guess.
You